Hello everyone and welcome back to Whiz. You're here with your host Master Priyadarshan, and obviously I'm here with the answers for yesterday's stuff, easy, whatever the type of questions. I hope you found them interesting because I found them very interesting while setting them, obviously with the help of my dad Jai Kumar Babu. So I will tell you the answers for yesterday's questions and tell you five more interesting new questions for you. So I hope you're ready. Let's count them down. Here are the answers for yesterday's five questions. Question number one. Nestle's Smarties book prize for a time was set of annual records by British children's books that ran from 1985 till 2007. It was administered by Book Trust, an independent charity that promotes books and reading in the United Kingdom, and it's sponsored by Nestle, the manufacturer of Smarties candy. Who was the first person to win the Smarties prize 3 years in a row? So I know you all must have been thinking of various different authors, but surprisingly enough, we are talking about the author of the Harry Potter series, that is J.K. Rowling. So before J.K. Rowling got into writing magical fiction books like Harry Potter, she used to write a couple of novels and books and storybooks for children as well, and that's where she has earned this award. So that moving on to question number two, here it is. In the year 1928, when brothers Paul and Joseph purchased the bankrupt Stewart Batteries Company's battery eliminator plants and manufacturing equipment at an auction for $750, they started off with the production of battery eliminators and went on to create the first car radio in the year 1930. Just to market this product, they changed the name of the company and the logo, to which it has two triangles. Which company are we talking about? So, now I know you all must have thought, oh my god, it's 1930s, it's something so old, maybe the company doesn't exist today. Well, that's not the case. Actually, this is a very successful company, and the company that we are talking about is Motorola. So earlier the name was Galvin Manufacturing Corporation. Paul Galvin and Joseph Galvin are the brothers who set up this company. Moving on to question number three. So here it is. The etymology of the name is uncertain. In Historia Regum Britanniae, which details about the history of Britain, claims that the name is described as originating from King Lud, who seized the city of Trinovantum and ordered it to be renamed in his honor as Kelod. Which modern day city are we talking about? And obviously when I asked you this question yesterday, I told you the answer is much more simple. It's not that complicated, but you just need to think of a region that has such a rich history. And I think some of you would have got the answer. The modern day city that we are talking about is London. So that is the answer for the third question. Moving on to question number four. Here it is. Andy Bechtolsheim, Sun Microsystems co-founder, was the first investor of Google, who invested $100,000 in the entity in August way back in 1998. The initial name of the entity was Webcrawler. Then they changed it to the new name. So I want you to identify this entity. Now obviously the entity that we are talking about, it has such a elaborate history, a rich history. We all would have read up about it, or we all would have read it at least in the news. The company that we are talking about, probably one of the most profitable companies in the world right now, we are talking about Google. So for a few of you who did not know that this was known as web crawler, well, that is what we know it as Google today. And that brings us to our last question for yesterday. So here it is. This candy was first invented in 1974 in England and were introduced in the United States as an imported product in the year 1979. It is the second most popular candy after Starburst. Taste the Rainbow slogan was introduced in 1994. So which candy are we talking about? Now, since I've given the hint of taste the rainbow, I think many would have cracked it because these candy come in the 7 colors of the rainbow. The answer that we are looking for is Skittles. So that is the answer. Moving on to our 5 questions for today. I hope you're ready. You can write down your guesses or you can watch the video later again and write the answers in the comments below. It would be easier for me to track it that way. So without wasting any further time, here is the first question for today. I'm going to show you a picture right about now. So now that you've seen the picture, you've seen there is a certain portion of the picture which has been blanked out. I want you to fill in the blanks, and you might get an additional bonus if you're able to guess what this picture actually is. Moving on to our second question for today, here it is. You should be able to see 3 images right about now. So the first image of the lady is A, the second image is B of the sort of book cover, and the last image we'll call it as C. The question is very simple. A authored the book B as a dedication to C. So all I want you to do is identify A, B and C. Moving on to our third question for today. Again, before the question, have a look at this image right about now. So yes, this is a sporting image. The question being very simple. Which ball game is played during Onam, which is played with the ball made out of plantain and coconut fiber, which is weighed down with stones? So I just want you to tell me the name of this interesting, intriguing sport. Moving on to our penultimate question for today. Borassus flablea is erected in front of temples and surrounded with a wooden balustrade and covered with dry leaves. It is lit with a torch and burned to ashes to signify that Mahabali went to hell as a sacrifice. This is witnessed during the festival of Onam. Which tree are we talking about? So all I want you to tell me is the name of the tree. And that brings us to our last question for today. Listen to it carefully, might be a bit tricky, but it is a very interesting question. Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Gene Sarazen are the only players to achieve this feat. What is this feat that I am talking about? So you can go back to the video, listen to the names again a bit more carefully, might help you out. But don't shy away from taking a guess for any of the answers. Like I've said in so many of my videos, there are no wrong answers in quizzing. So go give it a shot. You might be right. At the worst, you'll get to learn something new. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video. I will obviously be back tomorrow with the answers for today's questions and some more interesting questions. So do stay tuned in. And do not forget to write your answers in the comments below. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And till then, that's all from me. So thank you for watching the video. Stay safe, take care, good night, and keep quizzing.